Things have been a lot better since you helped with those soldier boys. Thanks again. So, what can I do for you? Near as I can tell, it was some sort of religious institution. Oh, I know it says school out front, but everything in here seems to be related to the worship of some guy from back in the day. People used to come here to learn about him, to dress like him, move like him, to be him. If that's not worship, I don't know what is. Not a whole lot to tell. There were only a few books left in here when we found it, and those were rotted away. There were some posters left that were pretty well preserved, which is how we know all this stuff was based on the same guy. The thing of it is, we don't even know what his name was. All the posters just referred to him as the King. Well, that and the giant sign outside. This place could have been the King's House of Dog Chow, and I still would have taken the name. But I like to think I keep the memory alive. As far as we can tell, the guy that built this place was considered the coolest of the cool, and taught other people how to be more like him. People would come all around to learn how to sing, dance, dress, and even speak the way he did. Something like that, yeah. There were some working tapes here when we first got here, so we know what he sounded like. Sadly, they stopped working a few years back, so I sold them to a junk merchant who was passing through. All the outfits you see my guys wearing around were originally found in here too, along with more hair gel than you can shake a stick at. I got Rex here from a salvager a few years ago. He was a little dinged up when I got him, but one of the followers fixed him right up. He's been acting peculiar for some time now. I took him to the followers and had him checked out, and they said his brain is bad or something. No, they said they don't have the tools to help him. For now, but they said eventually he's gonna get... I don't know. Maybe. If you found a way to help my poor Rex here, I'd be much obliged. Your best bet will be to talk to Julie Farkas over at the old... That's a good idea. Tumble it around in your mind and come back when you...
Hi.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
You want someone dead? Really dead? Stop by the Silver Rush and we'll give you...
Welcome back. I hope you've been working on that task.
the silver rush.
Wanna get lucky? Head on down to the...
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs. Come to Mick and Ralph's. Can I help you? Rex? Yes, a few... No, Rex's condition is way beyond anything. There's an old scientist named Dr. Henry who reportedly specializes in this sort of procedure. He'd probably be your best bet. Last I heard, he was living up in Jacobstown, far to the... We're pretty sure... We've got stuff we're not even allowed to sell.
Things have been a lot better since you... She said, what? Why didn't she just say so when I was there? Actually, come to think of it, I vaguely recall something about upending a few tables, maybe knocking out one of her doctors. Only thing is, there's too much going on around here for me to make a trip like that. You seem to be awfully interested in my boy Rex here. You promised to get Rexy here to that doctor, and I can't thank you enough. Now, there's a few things you should know about old Rexy. First, he hates rats. Can't stand the things. Giant. He's normally pretty obedient, but you might have to chase him some. Second, he doesn't like hats, or the people wearing them. Don't ask. That should be it, though. Other than the occasional bad spot when his brain starts hurting him, that is. But I wish you both... Rex, this is your new master. Protect him as you would me.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
If it can be bought, it can be found at Mick and Ralph's.
Morning.
Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Good Springs. I'm getting ready to run a caravan up towards Utah. There's a town called New Canaan which is supposed to be pretty prosperous. The Crimson Caravan doesn't have any branches out that way, so it'll be... Alice McLafferty runs the Crimson Caravan.
Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company, New Vegas branch. What may I do for you? I'm afraid we have no current openings for caravan. Deliver this invoice to Dr. Hildern. You can find him somewhere inside Camp McCarran. Certain. The Crimson Caravan Company has been in business for over 130 years. Well, the gunrunners continue to dominate the weapons market, and the Mormon traders from New Canaan control the majority of the northern routes. Normally, I oversee company operations at the hub in California. However, the New Vegas branch has been... Given the conditions here, it's not hard to see why.
Welcome, sir.
Morning.
A little busy at the moment. This? The OSI lab. Nobody ever said science would smell clean and fresh. I know I don't sound the part. Get raised, but I know every inch of the power grid from Hoover Dam to Shady Sands. That's what we do here. Some of the others are working on an agricultural project, but truth be told, they aren't making. You mean give you work? No, that'd be between you and me. I don't think he ever leaves.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume... No, they wouldn't have briefed you, would they? Probably better that our junior fellows stay within the bounds of their pay grade, anyway. Vault 22. Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water, and the efforts of only a handful. Precisely. Science has proven that true. The bounty I described to you is no idle fantasy. It exists in primitive. We need only reach out and unlock it. Isn't it? One directs one's efforts, or the efforts of others, toward a goal, and progress is made. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlock. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously... Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level. Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No instant. To be frank, I have no idea. I leave the fighting to Colonel Shu. Too many people have opinions on things they know nothing about. The more ignorant they are, the more opinions... Yes? Some... From Alice. Crimson Caravan runs a tight operation. Even out here in the waste. Wouldn't do to keep... Was there anything else? Or we...
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business. Not interested. More concerned. It's just... You're not the first person he sent. There were a lot of mercs. One after another. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect. And he didn't mention her? But now he's hired you. Which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich. Not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal, but I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No. I had a good feeling about you. Keeley's brilliant, and absolute. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a friend when you know you'll... Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw, though I'm not sure which would be which. Bad analogy, maybe. Keeley hates Hildern. She says he's more politician than science. And Hildern hates Keeley because... Well, because every time they meet, she makes him look like an ass. The director? He's not what you'd call warm, unless he wants some. Most of the time, I focus on the science and try to forget him. He doesn't get mixed up in any actual work. My father used to say good things about them, but that was years ago. Back when they teach farmers and Nowadays, they've changed. They're doing what they can to discredit the NCR. Dr. Hildern trained with them years ago. Not me, though.
Morning.
Welcome back. Well, you've proven yourself reliable. As much as I like to handle matters there is a negotiation with a smaller trading outfit that I'd like. There's also the matter of Henry Jameson, an employee whose services I'd rather do without. And finally, I need someone to acquire the gunrunner's manufacturing specifications. This job needs to be quiet. No alarms, no deaths. There's a small trading outfit, Cassidy Caravans, that I'm interested in acquiring. I have it on good authority that the owner, Cass, Cass frequently trades with the NCR, so you'll like... The Jamesons are very wealthy ranchers back in Redding, California, and significant investors. I was pressured into posting young Henry as the manager of the New Vegas branch. As you can see, he was much more interested in gambling and prostitutes. And because of his family, I can't... Henry needs to be convinced to quit, one way or another. I won't have a useless The quality of the gunrunners' armaments is due to their manufacturing process. They craft all... I want to know the secrets of their manufacturing process, which I would greatly prefer that you perform this job
Hey.
Hey there, need anything?
You come around like a bad habit. They want to buy Cassidy caravans? Don't they know it's burned to ash? No. Even times being what they are. Not sure I'm looking to sell. Even for all the whiskey in Reno. Mojave happened. Hit by raiders packing some heavy firepower. Can't believe the Crimson Caravan haven't heard. So if you want to buy all of Cassidy caravans, you're looking at it. And what I got in my pockets. Still, as little as that is, not looking to sell. If someone came up to you and offered you 1,000 caps for your name, would you take it? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want... Point is, I made the caravan what it is. Alice McLafferty, eh? No, I see the zeros, and I know she's good for them. Still, it's not about the money. Dad'd spin like a twister if he ever heard I sold our name for anything. Look, I know you came all this way, and that takes some drive. Just doesn't feel right. That's a good point. It's the caravan clearance that's got me stuck here. I'm sure this bar's getting tired of propping me up. Give me that paper. I'll put my name to it. No sense trying to hold the past between your fingers when it's nothing but dirt. All right. There you go. Caravan's yours. Feel kind of relieved, actually. No idea. Maybe head back west? Though the idea of heading back there with my tail between my legs isn't appealing. Where? Like Vegas? Shoot and spit enough friends out. East? Get put in one of Caesar's little camp. Head back west? I already know the big circle and everyone in it, except now I go back there, ruined. Never really realized how small the Mojave is getting nowadays. Hard to find a place to go that's worthwhile. You got one too many by my count.
What's up? I'm worried they'll be the death of the Brotherhood. They take what they want. We defend our interests. But there's a handful of us and tens or hundreds of thousands of them. So it's... Last time we clashed, we lost a lot of people. Retreated to our bunker. Now we're afraid to even move around during the day. Silliest dressed band of raping, slaving marauders you'll see east of California. I'll say that. Where's that touch of old world class? Although, I hear the soldiers mount each other as much as they mount their women, so maybe they did keep a little something from the Empire. No such privilege for the women, though. Figures. So, to answer your question, I like long walks in the desert and candlelit metal workshops. Yeah, a good one. Something elegant. Something that's eye-catching and sexy, but also says, don't fuck with me. I keep hoping I'll come across some old-world designer gown when I'm scavenging, but it never happens. Maybe I should move back to California. Hey, you try getting a date wearing scribe robes. Might as well be wearing sweatpants. I just like them, you know? They make you feel like a woman. Those ladies before the war... I would say he was my tutor, but after my parents passed, he looked after me. The whole Brotherhood brought me up, really, but I never had a grandfather. Not that I knew, anyway. But Elijah was in some ways what I'd imagined a grandfather to be. It was by his request, actually. They sent him to look into the dam. There was a time when I'd have begged to follow. watch him at work. He did. For years, he fought with the council, taught me to question our direction. Meanwhile, he'd become more out of touch than... On our way east, he demanded we stop at Helios 1 to examine it. While we were there, we received word that the He was furious. Called it children playing with a bomb, but he was mad because we'd lost his power. What we'd use it for. He didn't even care. They're cautious. When they discover something, they respect it, learn its limits, consider how to preserve it. Used to drive Father Elijah crazy. He liked to learn limits too, but only so he could push them. That's not to excuse the other elders, though. They all covet technology for its own sake. Some are just more fanatical than others. Yeah, he just didn't listen. And the idea that people talk back to him... If he could have made the Brotherhood act like machines, ordering them around... Elijah could look at an old device and immediately understand what made it work. And he could see its potential. It's not something he could teach, but he tried with me. But that's what he taught me. You ask what I learned. I learned what, in the end, it was just him and his vision. Nothing and no one else. I don't know. Last time anyone saw him was in the battle at Helios 1. I wasn't there. He gave orders to hold the plant until it could be reactivated. But he ran out of time. The NCR... But I got a note from him at a comm station. That's how he liked to talk, even to me. He wasn't good at... It was... strange. I don't want to say delusional, but I don't know what else to call it. He said the Brotherhood was doomed, but that he'd return, save us. But the way he said he'd return with one of the greatest treasures of the old world, make the Mojave... Just my parents, but they haven't been around for a long time. Dad was... They died in the same battle, trying to hold off the NCR from... something. I don't remember what it... I was, once. We were... She left the Brotherhood. Wanted to put some distance between... Since our membership isn't open to outsiders, some members think that obligates all of us to procreate. You can guess which camp her parents belong to. No. Couldn't bring myself to leave everyone... I'd hoped love would be enough to influence her decision, but it wasn't. I don't know where she is now, but I'm sure she's moved on. I still think about it. If you take trying to keep me as far away from Hidden Valley as possible because I ask too many difficult questions as a sign of respect, that's not to say I don't get along with them. I just think they don't know what to do with me sometimes. Nowhere specific. I just know there are a lot of groups who are actually doing well for themselves out here. I want to understand how and why. See... See you.
Evening.
Evening.
What's up? Why does everyone... Okay, then I guess I'll be back at the 188. Maybe digging in some dirt for scrap metal or something.
You come around like... Don't know. Not go with you? So you're looking for someone to help, not just walking the Mojave with you can't be any worse. From here?
Hey, what can...
Welcome back. Like I always said.
Don't need this right now. Someone's looking to cash their chips early.
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs.
Make a brief stop at the Atomic Wrangler, where the booze is cheaper, the tables more...
As I live and breathe, Rose of Sharon Cassidy, the late Rose of Sharon Cassidy, was hoping you were on that caravan I massacred. But Crimson Caravan and Van Graffs won't need to worry about you anymore. Mojave's ours, and we're shutting you down for good.
Came back but never meant
Really?
You like that?
What have you done? What have you done? Hey.
As I live and breathe.
All I'm doing is pissing him off.
You like that? Come on. Murderer! What have you done?
holding my breath. Just trim the Van Graff family tree. Now, on to settle accounts with Alice McLafferty. Putting her down? That would suit me just fine. Can't wait to see the look on her face when I show up. She'll know why. Oh, I'm sure. Killing never felt so good. Could almost hear the dead behind me guiding my hand. Now that that bitch is in hell, they'll have a shot at her too. So what are we waiting for? Music?
Over here!
Time for some get even.
McLafferty's a hard boss, but she knows what she's doing, that's for sure.
Sure could use a drink. And that's it. Payback's a bitch, ladies. And between Gloria and Alice, that settles accounts as far as I'm concerned. Hope they're in hell right now. Blink. Yeah, I am. Never realized had all that ain't. You know, when I first heard about them, I was so mad. But there was this little part of me that said, I say fuck that part. I feel purified. And I love... That's it. Not many people in my company would have done what you did for me without some hesitation or asking me. But you backed me. Even when the odds were against us. Don't have to tell me twice. Well, Now that I'm free of the outpost, I'd like to pay my respects to the end of Cassidy caravans. Upside of Vegas, here, Tal. Been weeks since it was hit, so the site's probably a cat. Got word back on what happened from Rangers. Guess they found enough in the wreckage to... Only wishful thinking on my part. I got them into... Some of the caravan might be ash, but we were expecting raiders and over-inquisitive NCR. If I'm there with you, shouldn't be hard to spot. And I'd prefer to see the bodies. Gift for my dad, along with my name. Mom said he got the name out of some old world book about dirt pilgrims. Name sure sounds... Anyway, pendant's a little rose. Originally thought it was one of Mom's tribal necklaces, but no. Came from Dad. You know, like one of the tribes from the east. We got him out west, too. NCR's herding them up, though. Mom was from east of the Colorado, though. Not sure what tribe. Was before the time Caesar rounded them up, made them leave. She walked a hell of a way until she crossed paths with my dad, and he convinced her to stop walking. And lucky for me, he was a... Didn't ask Mom to elaborate. Never heard her complain about his bedroom behavior. Only complain he wasn't around to... Not much to tell. He ended up walking east one day when I was young and never came back. Not a family deserter like some, though. Mom died waiting for him, and she had me to raise. She was sick, but she held off dying until I was old enough to be getting into trouble with the boys. As for Dad, I figure he just got himself lost or dead. Happens. And I'm not all boo-hoo about it, so save your glass. Not a clue. When he left, I was 2 in my crib to understand why, and around the time Mom got his name, got the... Short of caps is what taught me mostly. Ammo's expensive. And here tell my dad was a crack shot, so I don't want to dirty the family name. Not out of pride. What, you mean like spears? No, none of... NCR's my country, and I support it. Anyone who says otherwise, I'll feed them my knee. I know which side of the firing line I'm on in the Mojave, just so you know. Yeah, I'm not some blind, flag-saluting, do-as-they-will NCR lover. They're family. But let me tell you, you ever had a brother? Some dumbass younger brother, say, who knocked up the pastor's daughter, can't hold a job, and is home away as a jail... That's NCR. They try to put their stake in everything they see. Nobody's dick's that long. Not even Long Dick Johnson, and he had a fucking long dick. Thus the name. So NCR tries to hold on to everything. They can't. They can't guard the roads. They can't put a line of troops around the Mojave. It's just greed that makes the heads back west. Aside from the people in the towns, it's the soul. Ever seen NCR troops asked to go after gangs at 3-to-1 odds? That bear flag? And when those gangs were caused by NCR in the first place, like the powder gangers, Caesar on a crutch. Look, I wouldn't want the Brotherhood, or the followers, or the Vegas families running the Mojave. All of them are a different kind of fuck-up. NCR just has some shaping up to do. Maybe Caesar kicking them in the nuts is a nice wake-up call? I just wish Caesar would kick the heads of NCR, not the feet. I've fucked a soldier in my time. They don't need to get fucked by their orders.